Warning, the following video discusses both women and periods. If those two things make you uncomfortable, please stop being a 12-year-old boy. Hi people of the world! My name is Natalie and I'm very excited to have you here today. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if you read the title and thumbnail, you know today we're going to talk about period social media, specifically the Flow app. And disclaimer, I am not sponsored in any way. If anything, they probably don't want me talking about their app, but I've had a lot of personal experience with period social media. I feel like I need to give some background. So I was in high school whenever COVID happened. Oh no, But whenever I was in lockdown, I didn't have any social media. I wasn't allowed to get social media until like junior year of high school. I think I talked about that in my Snapchat video, but a lot of people asked me like what I did when I wasn't allowed to talk to anyone or do anything and be locked in my room. And it's kind of embarrassing to say that I spent a lot of my time on my period app, but I did. So now I'm coming forward and saying I spent too many months in March of 2020 and beyond hanging out on a period app. So I wanted to see if anything has changed or been updated since 5+ years ago and see if Flow is still relevant today, if it was even relevant in the first place. This video is full of disclaimers. Disclaimer again, I actually filmed all of these like clips in early June because I had this idea as I was like driving in my car and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a great idea. And then I got really busy. It's now August. So I have my computer here of all the screen recordings that I took. So this video was going to be split up into 2 different parts, all in one video, of course. But the first part is going to be more of the general E for everyone section, and then the second half is going to talk about some of the 18+ mature features. I recently learned that once you hit a certain age, more features unlock to you. You have access to more chats, and a lot of them are more mature. So this first half is really going to be just kind of the general, what you'd see for Flow even if you were 12, if you were from 12 to 17, and then the second half is going to talk about the 18+ category, just because I don't want to make anyone too uncomfortable or have to go too far out of their age range. So quick disclaimer there. So first we're going to download the E for everyone version, and also I found I don't actually have to make an account. You just like put in your birth year and then you can pick like which setting you want. So let's set the app up now. When you first download it, it gives you a survey asking about how you found out about their app, and then mainly like how you're planning on using it. If you put you're under a certain age, it'll kind of give you limited access, but as you get into the 18+ category, it'll ask you if you're tracking things like pregnancy, ovulation, certain things, certain times of the month, like that. So that's mainly when you first download the app, but then it takes you to like their homepage, and that's when you see like your period calendar. For this, I just put in a random day. You guys didn't all click on this video to hear about my periods. You guys came for the secret chats and the social media aspect. So whenever you go to the bottom, the secret chats is the big one in the middle, and it kind of shows you like just text, kind of like, I don't know, like OG classic social media. And then I know it changes every day, but my feed was more focused on just what the girlies were feeling that day. This person asks about coping with IBS and feeling depressed and overwhelmed, and these are very serious things. I wanted to preface this by saying there is good and bad to having these anonymous communities. Sometimes people are just feeling things and they want to get it out there, they want to talk into the void, and sometimes that really helps them. We're also getting anonymous suggestions, but also the fact that this is anonymous is also a little bit maybe not so great. So I want to take everything on this app and on this platform with a grain of salt. Where I just graduated. That's awesome. And then we get to see some of my favorite sections, which are like the fun questions and surveys. So this one is funny nicknames for your period. What's your favorite? And then it's like the really cheesy ones that like your aunt would say or like your mom would. And these always just make me laugh. So here are some of the users. And it really is just, you can post anything. I think there is kind of like a Roblox, like you can't say like certain words or like block out certain things. But that's one of them. And as I keep scrolling, I see a lot more of like the general announcements, people saying you're better than this, your ex is dumb, thumbs down, I don't like whoever this person's ex is. But then sometimes I kind of feel sad because I forget that there are really young users on here. There are people, like I said, I had this app when I was 12 years old. And one of the prompts is, what are some not so subtle ways you've been told you're unattractive? And this just breaks my heart because you can see there are over 47,000 responses. That's really, really heartbreaking. So some of these users are saying they've been called ugly by their classmates. Some people say that they're just chopped. And I don't think chopped is a good thing. I'm not trying to laugh. I'm not trying to laugh, polar bear, koala. I feel you. I understand. I just forget that even though the 18 plus is like separate, if you're in the 18 plus section, you can interact with like all of the chats. So like, also kind of strange. You could be chatting with anyone anonymously. Besides, people are finding ways to express that they have a juicy peach. And a boy from class was looking at it and he said he should get bigger cherries and take the fat away from my butt. Oh, that's so mean. You are so beautiful. Oh, I don't know. I wasn't planning on being sad while making this video. I thought I was gonna like laugh because haha, teenage girls anonymous. But okay, let's do a fun one. Okay, this person says, "Hello, Pookies. XX. I hope you're having an amazing day, and to all my absolute baddies on their period right now, I love you. A hug for you. And there's like a little hugging guy. Okay, I needed that. See, this app is very helpful. Kind of gets you feeling all the feelings, where it gets a little bit juicy. But still, this is the E for everyone category. These were my favorite to read when I was, I don't know, 14. This one is, how'd your first relationship start? And these users have so much more words to put to their relationships than I ever did for my first relationship. This user, Octopus, has quite a bit to say, so I'm going to read it, I'm going to speed it up. I don't think I'm going to get through this all, but we'll see.
This relationship started in year 7.
They were like, I don't know, 12.
I didn't like him, but he was head over heels for me. He was one of those guys the whole grade hates because they're annoying, so I didn't like him at all. But the whole grade shipped us so bad, even my friends, which was so weird because they all hated him. When he asked me out, I didn't know what to do, so I said yes. I feel like everyone made me believe that I liked him. It was okay talking to him, but terrified of him, and didn't even talk to him at
school? SKL? Is that slang?
Stations were really sweet, so I kind of started enjoying it, but I was never like I was gonna die over him. My friends had their own boyfriends as well, and they all took praise how they looked during the day or talk about what they talked about last night. I never said anything like that because I was so scared that they were gonna be like, ew. Like, if he looked good at school one day, I wouldn't say anything because nobody likes him, and they all thought he was ugly, so I felt trapped. Oh.
They must not have been able to fit that in the box. I feel this girl. She has so many feelings, but I feel like I can't read anymore. This is someone's like private story. There's another one. Oh my god, this goes into a third box. He cheated on her. How dare he? This poor girl. This poor girl. I feel like other than Flo, she either needs a therapist or like a Wattpad account. Like, I feel like at this point, you can start to write fanfics, like the really bad ones that like middle school girls read. 7th grade girls haven't changed that much. And even in the era of like social media and just the idea of Gen Alpha being so different, like, we're really not that different. We can crash out over men we don't like, no matter what age you are. Okay, we got to my favorite ever post. Whenever Flo was my thing, I used to love the share your favorite period memes here. Period memes be like. And this has over 141.8 thousand comments and responses. A lot of them were mine back in the day. And it's funny because the experience of getting a period, at least, I don't know, from my opinion, from talking to a lot of my friends, is very girlhood, very slay. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, it's the worst ever. So, like, the period memes are always the same. Like, you're gonna cycle through a lot of the same ones. I'll put them all on the screen. But this masterpiece, Tamponi, I don't know if that was AI, but AI couldn't make that. I could never experience that. Be on my period and it's like a little yippy dog. This is awesome. Oh, okay, we got some more. Period, go away. I don't need you. I am gay. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing, dog person profile. Dear, this looks like it was from Tumblr. Dear period, thanks for letting me know I'm not pregnant. As a 15-year-old virgin, I was extremely worried. You can leave now. Peak comedy. I feel like this is the perfect place to end the E for everyone section. Now we're going to look at what it looks like 18 plus. This is something that I never really got to experience, and it was kind of a really cool culture shift. So now enjoy a brief intermission. I hope you enjoyed your brief intermission. So now we are in the M for mature section of the video. I can't control if there are mature people watching. I can just announce that. Again, we're not going to get graphic. It's just going to be more kind of things to talk about in the 18 plus category. If you still want to watch the conclusion of this video and you are under that age, don't really feel comfortable talking about things, if like sex, that makes you uncomfy, that's okay. Please flip to this time. Anyway, the first thing you notice whenever you put an older age into the Flow app, the survey questions are a little bit different. So instead of saying tracking your periods, learning about sex ed, it talks about syncing your sex life and your cycle, masturbation, PCOS, discharge, symptoms, orgasms, things that are more of a mature audience. And I think this is actually really cool because I think you can never really stop learning. It is really interesting, and it's still taboo, even as an adult woman. Even as an adult woman, a lot of women don't feel comfortable talking about things, and I think it is good and beneficial that the app can kind of grow with you. But then it says, will help you. Have great sex every day of your cycle. Wow. Another thing that I forgot to mention in my E for Everyone section is there's an insights area, and then from insights it kind of gives you more age and like concept specific suggestions, but also they're under a paywall. So I don't know, in my opinion, we just need better sex education in general, free, accessible to everyone. There's not one specific requirement in the US, so a lot of states are completely different. So I think this is a great thing, except for the fact that a lot of the premium health benefits are under a paywall. So learning about some of those things aren't accessible to everyone, but that's okay. That's the way the app is designed. Also, every time you like go to sign up for the app, it basically makes you get the premium and it puts it in your cart, and then it almost makes you like hit pay, and there's no way to like exit out of the tab. So I almost spent $60 on a period app, and it's okay, I didn't. I had patience. But it's crazy because that's like the automatic, it automatically puts it in your cart. Oh, our first super steamy secret chat is, do you enjoy kissing? And this user said,
I love her kissing, especially when you take care of your oral hygiene, knowing to involve your tongue and the amount of kiss doesn't need to be dry. I personally want to feel the exchange of DNA. Also, don't bite someone's lip if you're not fully knowledgeable with the tactic. I've had some traumatizing experiences.
I'm so sorry, Orange Dog. Thank you for sharing in this public space. Hey, this is important though. I feel like the general public might not have known to not bite someone's lip if they're not experienced. Again, I promise I'm not immature. I promise. Let's move on. I forgot that I was like scrolling on the 18 plus section, and then I just see like a banana with goo, and that's not like an innuendo. Like there's actually just like a real life banana, and they like put like goo next to it, and the caption is, share your experience with the pull out withdraw message here. I don't know if I clicked on that one. I didn't click on that one. I just kept scrolling. But again, it is really important because now that it's a mature audience, these are things that people want to talk about, and I respect that. I'm looking through like the footage that I recorded, and I recorded so many of these. I could probably make a part 2. I could talk about this all day, but the moral of the story is I don't want this to sound like I'm making fun of any of the users. I'm not. like I said, I was an avid Flow user. I think like whenever I would look at my screen time, it would be like my period app would take up like whatever percent of that day. There should not be a taboo about hygiene products, female products, just things to do with having periods in general. That should not be taboo, but it is. So I'm glad there's a safe space and a community where people can talk about it. So I don't want this video to come off as like me making fun of it, just because some of the users, they're probably 12 years old and they're allowed to be cringy. I think now the idea of like digital footprints, much like this video, if you are a future employer watching this video, you should hire me because I'm educating. But the idea that these young girls and everyone in general, but specifically young girls, have to keep this image, have to have a perfect Instagram, have to keep up with all these standards, they're allowed to be cringy and be kids and have fun and learn new things. So I think the premise of this app is good. And it shouldn't be nasty and we should be able to talk about it. Period. End of sentence. But I want to hear your thoughts. Do you have any thoughts or questions about anonymous kind of social media apps? I know whenever I went to college, we had like a social media app called Fizz. It was basically Flow, because I was so used to Flow being like an anonymous app where you can just post things. In Fizz, it's kind of like, I've heard other schools have Yik Yak. It's where you can just anonymously post things, but I wasn't going to tell anyone that the cool college app was just a copy of the period app I had when I was 12. But comment down below. If you had strict parents who didn't let you have social media, would you have chatted on a period app? I just wanted to thank you all for watching. Like I said, if you want to hear more about this, let me know. I genuinely had so much fun making this video because it was just looking at myself, basically. I was looking in a time capsule. I hope you have the best day ever. If you're looking for something else to do, I have a lot of other videos in my channel, not about periods. We can just kind of hang out and click on this video in the screen. It's probably not going to be in the screen. But be sure to comment down below, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all 2,000 of you. There are so many and I appreciate it. Give it a like, do all the things that makes the algorithm like me. And I hope you have the best day ever. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.